and I don't wanna harm you. Yeah, I'm just hoping to charm you. Hey, I don't mean to alarm you, and I don't wanna harm you.
Live from Studio 1396, Columbus, Ohio, broadcasting over 100,000 watts of all American electricity. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Late Lap, the only motorsports show bold enough to title an episode after Detroit and seafood. And yes, for those linguistically curious among us, Day-Twah is the French spelling Detroit, pronounced in the old tongue, like you're swearing at your transmission. We've got a horsepower on both ends of the country kind of week, so much so that if you're a NASCAR fan, you're going to have to wait till tomorrow night to hear about Nashville. But we will talk tonight about the IndyCar streets of Detroit and the tree-lined straightaways of Epping, New Hampshire, plus some great gab on the automotive industry. But before we even think about music and fun, it is important that we talk about the city and scary mayhem, the ultimately inspiring moment that took place Sunday at the New England Nationals. Jack Beckman, one of the most composed and articulate drivers in the NHRA, a champion, a veteran, a guy who's seen the best and the worst this sport has to offer. And on Sunday, he experienced one of the scariest rides on the track since returning to the seat of an NHRA funny car. We'll set the stage. When these nitro funny cars shake, rattle, and roll, it's not metaphorical. It's 340-mile-an-hour orchestra of violence, and the driver is strapped in like a piano. Beckman's Peak-sponsored Chevy Camaro, fielded by John Force Racing, lost traction and experienced violent tire shake just past the launch in less than a blink. The car crossed the center line and slammed the retaining wall. His nose caved, fiberglass flaked, chassis twisted, and then stillness. But out from the silence stepped a man who gives you a hug when he greets you on his own 2 feet, alert and even waving at the crowd. Jack Beckman walked away like so many great others. Let that sink in. We talk a lot about performance in motorsports. Who's fastest? Who wins? Who red lights? Who double steps? But what happened Sunday reminds us of something much deeper, that walking away sometimes is the win. That surviving one of the sport's most unpredictable variables is worth more than Wallies or points. And it's thanks in no part to the unsung heroes of this sport, the men and women at JFR who build safe race cars, and of course, the NHRA Safety Safari. The NHRA's traveling safety team is the best in the world, bar none, period. They're the ones who get there first when things go wrong. And on Sunday in Epping, they were flawless, rapid response, full coordination, every movement had purpose. They made sure fans didn't witness a tragedy, and let's be honest, in a sport that pushes that boundary of physics every week, it's easy to become desensitized. We've seen 300 mile an hour become routine. Lately, we've seen 340. We've seen engines explode, bodies fly, carbon fibers shatter. But when it comes down to it, safety isn't routine. It's deliberate, engineered, practiced, upgraded, and earned. In Jack's own words, I pedaled, and it was one of those deals where when these things shake violent enough, your vision kind of shuts down for a second. As soon as I pedaled, I just hooked left. He didn't quite see it coming. That's how quick it happens. He added, clearly, I'd like a redo on that. But sometimes these things do something that's really unpredictable, some wild stuff out there. And just think about Jack Beckman, one of the best to ever do it, couldn't prevent it this time, but he did stay safe. And that is the very heart of safety engineering in action. So tonight, we were going to talk about John Force's Last Wally, a special piece we've been working on, but we'll save that for another time. To the engineers who design crumple zones, to the crew chiefs who reinforce chassis, to the safety safari who fly into action with steel nerves and foam sprays, and to the NHRA medical staff who meet every one of the adrenaline and precision race car drivers, right in front of the fans who stand in awe and never take the safety of a racer for granted. I tip my hat to you. Every time a driver steps into one of these beasts, they do so knowing the risk. They trust that every bolt was torqued, every suit stitched, every helmet fit. But beyond that, they trust that if everything fails, someone will be there, And as always, someone was. Now, Jack Beckman and the Peak team have packed up what's left of a wounded warrior. They'll be unloading some backup car here soon in Bristol. And if I know Jack Beckman and that Peak squad, they'll walk up to the starting line with the same quiet intensity, the same dry humor, and the same belief in each other and their car. Because this is John Force Racing, and that's the NHRA. This is drag racing. This is life lived a quarter mile or 1,000 foot at a time, and sometimes life nearly lost in the same distance. So from everyone at the Late Lap, Jack, I'm so glad that you're here. I'm glad that you walked away, and I'm glad that intelligent people are never bored, so go Artex. It was really remarkable. You see all of the cool things happening every week, the fast speeds, and then every now and then something really rough gets you. And I'm just so thankful that our buddy Jack is okay. Of course, it wasn't all bad news this week for John Force Racing. We can shift gears for a moment. From the crash of carbon fiber to the clash of champions, Austin Prock, talented, tough, unfortunately frustrated. Despite securing his 17th career number one funny car qualifying position, the reigning champ was stunned in round one by Buddy Hall. One of those rare moments when horsepower, data, and preparation all align, only to be undone by a car that simply wouldn't cooperate. The Cornwell Tool Chevy went up in smoke at the hit, a complete reversal of everything the team expected. Prock said it just blew the tires off, and it does happen, even to champions, to veterans, and even dynasties in the making. Prock's ability to lead the Mission Foods funny car points despite the stumble is proof that that team and their driver is built for long-term fights. Now, let's talk about excellence in Epping. Let's talk about dominance in Epping. Let's talk about what happens when talent, engineering, and precision do meet on the same launch pad. Let's talk about Brittany Force and David Grubnick. The Monster Energy team Sunday in Epping didn't just win, they conquered. After a stumble in Chicago, she returned to form and then some, driving her Monster Energy top-fueled dragster past Doug Kalita and Tony Stewart in back-to-back rounds. Her final round 369 with a 4 at 340.39 mile an hour sealed her 18th career win, tying legendary Shirley Muldowney for most by a woman in top fuel class. But let's be honest, this wasn't just about the stats. This was a message. Grubnick and co-crew chief John Collins gave her a flawless race car. Every pass and eliminations went straight down the track, no drama, no guesses, just dominance. A semifinal run at 341.42 mile an hour set a new Epping track record just shy of her recent national mark. And Brittany, ice cold. Precision on the tree, commanding at the stripe, unshakable. "This one is for my dad," she said. "It's been tough without him driving, and this track has always meant something to us." The Monster Energy team reminded the world that while the headlines may swing toward new names and shiny stories, the legacy of Force Racing and the brilliance of Grubnick's tuning never left. Dave Grubnick has built a reputation not just as a tuner, but as a philosopher of speed, calculated, strategic, and willing to gamble. He doesn't chase trends. He builds blueprints for domination. And Brittany Force, she's the ultimate executor of that vision. In a season where parity reigns and upsets abound, Force and Grubnick just planted a monster-sized flag in the ground. They're back. They're fast. And they are not done. Stick with us after the break as we switch from 10,000 horsepower missiles to Detroit's twisty hybrid ballet. But for now, give it up for Beckman's bravery, Prock's perseverance, and the Force family's fire. This is Late Lap. We'll be right back. Of course, it was not all just Chevrolet horsepower doing good things in Epping. After nearly a year and a half of watching Wally's go to everyone else, JR Todd is finally back in the winner's circle. That's right, for the first time since the 2024 Gator Nationals, The driver of the DHL Toyota Supra is hoisting hardware again, thanks to a gutsy run in the funny car against Spencer Hyde. Let's give credit where it's due. Todd qualified 10th, exploded a motor on Saturday, and still managed to knock down Cruz Pedregon, Phil Burkhardt, Alexis DeJoria, and Spencer Hyde to seal his 22nd career NHRA victory. His final round, a 388 with an 8 at 332.43 mile an hour, and it's his first ever win at New England Dragway. And he says it is a big deal. But let's be honest, for this show, it's less about the driver and more about the operation behind him. Because this win isn't just a notch for JR. It's a celebration for DHL, for Dickie Venables, and most of all for Connie Kalitta. This wasn't a car that coasted to the win. This was a car that caught fire, got rebuilt, and showed up like a war horse on Sunday. The Kalitta Motorsports team worked past midnight just to give Todd a chance to line up, and their reward, a polished, powerful, precision-tuned win in front of one of the most passionate crowds on tour. DHL isn't just a sponsor, it's a symbol of continuity, of faith in a program that has quietly kept the lights on while others came and went. And Connie Kalitta, he's the godfather, the icon, the man who has carried this sport longer than some of the drivers have been alive. Sunday's win was a thank you to him. Let's not forget, this wasn't just about streaks or stats either. It was about Scott Kalitta, whose name still adorns the side of that DHL machine. Todd made himself clear. The win was for Eddie, a nod to Scott and to the annual Lobster Fest held in his memory the night before. A win with ghosts in the paddock and history in the rear view. So yeah, JR Todd finally got it done again. Good for him. But the standing ovation belongs to the guys in yellow, the tireless crew wrenching with cold food in their hands, the crew chiefs who kept believing in a formula still baking in the oven, and the legacy of a Kalitta name that refuses to fade. For once, Epping didn't just deliver lobster or packed grandstands, they delivered justice. And I think that it's just really cool that, you know, the two nitro classes, oftentimes the most popular in the sport, have these wonderful young drivers in Brittany Force and JR Todd representing the historic legacy of both Connie Kalitta and John Force, arguably two of the greatest ever, certainly two of the greatest owners and drivers. It's just a wonderful weekend when you get to kind of live vicariously through past generations. Well, folks, you know, one of the generations that's just not slowing down, one that has been around for a while even, is definitely going to be Greg Anderson. It looks like I'm a little behind on my graphics, but that's okay. Greg Anderson, not finished. He's not slowing down. He's not nostalgic, not coasting on legacy. He's still climbing. This weekend in NHRA, Greg Anderson did what Greg Anderson always seems to do when the pressure is on. He outdrove, outperformed, outright classed the field, and he did grab win number 109. And it makes you wonder, will he someday hold that all-time record? The 63-year-old still chasing wins and chasing them often. Makes me really wonder. Just maybe. Tonight's car of the day isn't just a statement, it's a stampede. It's a lightning bolt with 7 seats, and yes, it will take you to Costco, to the lake, through a mountain trail, or even leave a Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT in the rearview mirror. We're talking about the 2025 Rivian R1S Tri-Motor, the latest evolution from the EV startup that seems determined to prove 3 motors are better than 4. Yeah, you heard that right. The new Tri-Motor R1S, despite dropping a motor from the previous quad setup, is faster, smarter, and shockingly more refined in all the right ways. In a world where speed and sustainability often feel like awkward bedfellows, this family-sized supercar and SUV clothing just might be the bridge between the morning carpool and your inner drag racer. So 3 motors, 1 mission. Will it blow your mind? Let's start with what you really want to know. This SUV is fucking fast. Under the hood, or more accurately, under the floor, sits 850 horsepower. That's more than a NASCAR. Powered by 3 electric motors, 1 up front and a dual motor setup in the rear combined. That's 1,103 foot-pound of torque. Translation, enough force to make your kids scream with joy. or terror every time you merge. And the numbers are there to back it up. 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds, quarter mile in 11.1 seconds at 121 mile an hour, top speed 130 miles an hour, electronically limited. This is a nearly 7,000 pound vehicle that can match a Porsche Cayenne Turbo GT in acceleration and actually beat it to the quarter mile stripe. That's not just impressive, that is ridiculous. And just to add some spice, Rivian now includes a launch control feature, complete with a digital countdown, checkered flag icons, and a chirping chime when it's go time. It's playful, but it's serious tech. Want your grocery run to feel like qualifying at Sonoma? You've got it. Brakes and balance, the other half of the story. Now, here's where things start to tilt back to earth, or maybe get dragged across it. Stopping the beast from 70 takes 173 feet, a full 23 feet longer than that Porsche. That's the physics of a 6,900-pound electric SUV. And while the brakes are solid, you're asking them to do a small miracle with every panic stop. Rivian's Regine braking system is adjustable, but it's all done on screen, no paddles. In high mode, it feels like traditional one-pedal driving. Low mode still delivers noticeable drag, and there's no true coast. Whether or not you like that depends on how much you enjoy digital interface every time you lift your foot. And in this Rivian, you'll be tapping the screen a lot. Want to go over here to the comments section for today. It is important that we say hi to our audience. It looks like a little bit of a crowd in tonight. Darren Williams Jr. saying the thumbnail on fire. I appreciate you, brother. Dujanet Bland, thumbnail is gangsta. He said gangsta. DJ also saying it looked like an axle broke with only one tire mark across the track. He's talking about Jack Beckman, two-time NHRA champion's car. And you know what was weird was the impact. You know, when you're that far, imagine just how much speed they've got. And you feel from that long angle that they show you on Fox, it doesn't feel like they're going fast. But then when you see it ricochet and destroy itself against the wall, it definitely starts getting rough. Dave W. said, my man Junior getting it done with Dickie. He's referring to old Junior Todd, J.R. Todd, Junior Todd. You know, I like to call him that sometimes. Junior Todd, winless drought ends. Good for J.R. And it's good for Dickie, too. You know, he left that Dodge program last year with a little bit of uncertainty. If you had asked me where I thought he was going in the offseason, despite the rumors, I would have told you Alexis's team. And obviously, he's doing good things over at the Toyota camp. So good on Dickie, good on JR. The wind drought is over. Although I will say, when they were looking at Spencer Hyde, man, and if any of the Spencer Hyde, man, he looks like my buddy Cole Wilgus and I had a kid. He really, he's got the hair and he's got the beard. I'm lacking in that department lately. But being out of Columbus, Ohio, anytime a Jegs car wins, any time that Jim Head wins, there's a couple of other things, you know, it's pretty cool. And so the hometown guy here for old AJ didn't win, but I don't think there were too many people upset when the underdog lost. So overall, that's just fine. We do have some notes on IndyCar and Day-Twah. Once again, if you're just tuning in, Day-Twah is Detroit in French. So, if you tune in a lot, you've picked up on something here at the late lap, and that is that overall, it is one guy. It is Alex Palou, and we like to call him King Palou. King Palou won just about every race, and the first time since 2006 where only two drivers have won the first 7 races. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll break down all of the GT action, Grand Prix action in Detroit. You're watching Late Lap. And we are back here on Late Lap, and I want to get one thing straight. First of all, before we talk about the race, King Alex Palou, as we like to so elegantly call him, did have a rough day. Old Dave W. saying, I love when Alex Palou'd the wall. Well, Dave W., I love you, but we're going to hate each other tonight because you're dead wrong. He did say the old Scrappers team headed to Rick Ware and Tony Schumacher. A little bit of some rumor mill action for NHRA. We'll have to hit that one another night, but we're going to fight about Alex Palou. Let's get one thing straight, right off the starting line. King Palou's reign, it's not over, but it's just hit its first speed bump of 2025. And after the year this guy's had, maybe it's about time the IndyCar world got a breather from his total domination. For the first time in nearly a year, King Alex Palou didn't finish a race. He wasn't off the pace. He didn't blow a strategy call. He did not run out of fuel. He got straight up shoved into the turn 1 tire barrier in Detroit by David Malukas. And what will go down as the most talked about punt since the last time Team Penske held a team meeting. But you know what? That's racing. That's street course survival mode in the tight, unforgiving concrete jungle of Detroit. And this race was peak 2025 IndyCar. It was aggressive, it was messy, and fast and unforgettable too. I want to set it up. You've got 10 different drivers leading laps, 5 caution periods, 6 penalties, 2 tire barriers devoured, and just enough contact to make a body shop owner weep. And at the center of it all, Kyle Kirkwood. Yes, Kirkwood the Killer is back on top. After finishing 4th in qualifying and dodging wrecks like a pinball wizard, for you young kids, that's a song you're going to want to look up. He blitzed the final third of the race like it was personal. He overtook Marcus Armstrong, Kyphon Simpson, and Santino Ferrucci in rapid-fire succession. Then, despite a broken front wing from contact with Simpson, he was gone. Clean air, clean racing, checkered flag. That's win number 2 this year, and career win number 4. All on street courses, though, Kirkwood is officially a city slicker. Give him walls, give him chaos, give him curbs and risk in a car that barely survived the bumps, and give Alex Palou a bad day, he gives you brilliance. The two of them have won every race this year. Unfortunately, Chevy is with a goose egg. We always talk about which drivers are oval aces, road course masters, or all-around talents. Well, Kirkwood is building a reputation as the new king of the concrete jungles. But let's not ignore the elephant in the paddock, or in this case, the reigning lion of the point standings. Yes, Palou is still up by 90 points. Yes, he's still made 5 victory lane visits this season. And yes, that car, even in Detroit, was fast enough to challenge for a 6th before the Malukas mishap. But now the door is cracked. The field smells opportunity. Kirkwood is in form. Christian Rasmussen is trending up. McLaughlin, if he can stay out of contact, is always a threat. And despite the unusual circumstances that took place in Indy, you can never forget about Joseph Newgarden lurking in the shadows with a history of summer edges. Speaking of McLaughlin, rough weekend. Let's just say his last 2 races have been better suited for a blooper reel. First, he crashed before the green flag at Indy. This time, he ran over Nolan Siegel and drew a penalty for avoidable contact. You know it's bad when Tony Kanaan, the team principal for Siegel, throws shade at Team Penske on social media. IndyCar drama? We've got it like TNT in the 2000s, and we love it. And then there's the Will Power moment from practice that practically sums up the mood of the paddock. He literally bumped Kyle Kirkwood out of the way because he thought he was too slow in the turn 6 approach. Actual contact. This isn't Saturday Night Oval racing. This is open wheel fender flaring racing, and he did it on purpose during practice. And later they joked about it in the paddock. What is this, the NASCAR Cup Series? It's making the series absolutely electric. High tension, high speed, and high class too. Now, let's pause and appreciate just this incredible 2025 IndyCar season so far. It has been killer. No filter. Every weekend feels like a main event. We've had brawls, brilliance, strategy twists, late race passes, heartbreak, and heroics. From St. Pete to Indy to Day-Twah, this season is elite motorsport. High drag racing. Even in a year where King Pello has been the headline nearly every week, the undercard has delivered big time. There is no midfield in this series. There are only future winners trying to fight their way to the front. And now, after 4 races in basically a month, including the Indianapolis 500 and back-to-back street races, the series finally gets a breath. 12 days off before we head to Gateway. And let me say this, the crew deserves it. I know what it's like to be on the road. It can be fun, but it's one hell of a challenge. The mechanics, the engineers, the haulers, they've all been grinding non-stop. You don't even want to know what it's like to have Darren Williams Jr. drive you 700 miles in a Chevy Suburban across the country. 17 of the past 31 days there I've been on the racetrack. That's almost NASCAR level mileage. And for what? To bring fans on absolutely electric stretch of racing? But the rest won't last long, because once we're back, it's 10 races in 12 weeks. The Oval at Gateway, the streets of Toronto, the beautiful road course of Mid-Ohio, and King Pello still holding the championship for now. Can Kirkwood close the gap? Will Joseph Newgarden turn into a tear? Does McLaughlin bounce back or continue to break down? That's why we watch, because in IndyCar, the second fastest sport on Fox, no lead is safe. No contact goes unnoticed, and every week someone is ready to rise. So here's to Kirkwood for proving again that he's not just a prospect, he is a problem. And here's to IndyCar. Their officials have been letting the race unfold with all its glorious mess. And here's to our boy, King Alex Palou, who may have finally shown a crack in the armor, but still stands 90 points tall atop the standings. If I don't settle down, the listeners of this show in 14 or 15 years are going to say that all I did was kiss King Alex Palou's butt. So next week, we'll get into what we don't like about him. Detroit gave us carnage, courage, and a new winner. The Palou parade paused, but only briefly. I love IndyCar. I'm learning to love it even more. What makes it challenging for me, and I think a lot of you, is it is hard to follow when you're new. And when you're dealing with that, it's hard to continue to find, your knack. It's hard to find what you think is great because you don't have a driver to root for. Maybe you have a manufacturer, but they all kind of look the same. Is there a difference in the body or not? And that's all okay. Overall, it's still great racing. And all the shit we all give Fox, they really are doing a great broadcast. So kudos to Fox and IndyCar. Just know, we're really watching you. And of course, we did talk about the car of the day. What a great show it's been. As I say at the end of every show, I think that it's important that sometimes we settle down for a while. We have a little bit of fun, and we forget about life. I've never stolen something, but in my bag today, I found this piece of paper. This is what we used to fill social media with at JFR. All right, as I say at the end of every show, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, smile, be happy, and until then, take care. And to our friends in the South, sea amable consigo mismo, sea amable con otros, sonría, sea feliz, hasta entonces, cuídese. Ladies and gentlemen, take care. I'll see you tomorrow night.